Cobweb comes from South Korean director Kim Jae-won and tells the story of a film director who's reshooting his movie and gets in all sorts of trouble as he spirals down more and more insanity all around himself. In the logline, it says a bit more like that he spirals. I feel like everyone around him spirals in this movie.
To be honest, the logline says a whole lot more.
I don't want to read the logline. I tried to paraphrase without reading it.
It's a very long logline.
We don't want to read the logline unless you really want to. You want to read the logline?
No.
It's just like in the smaller text, which is already kind of a logline. It says, in 1970s Korea, when both art and dreams are censored, a film director dreams of a masterpiece.
They saw the like text character limit and they're like, yes.
I mean, this one's already kind of a logline that would, but
it's still not
others,
as long as
like Shark says like they bite or something like that there.
Yeah.
But they got a whole ass logline there.
Yeah.
Anyways, this movie is playing here in Gun out of competition, which we were both a bit surprised by, because it definitely could have played in competition. I initially thought it was more like a midnight movie because his previous stuff has been really, really brutal. This one, I went in. I told you, like,
you were like,
get ready for some violence and some murder.
And I'm sitting there, I'm watching this movie. I'm like, where is the? I mean, I get there's a slight bit of violence in the film.
Only movie violence, though,
but
right?
nothing like hardcore.
No. And maybe I've only seen his most violent movie yet, and there's like a lot of other sides to him. But he gets Song Kang-ho in his as the lead as well as the director here. For those of you who don't know, he was the lead actor in Parasite, right? A lot of people will probably know him from there, and he delivers a great performance. And it's very over the top. I feel like it's the only satire in Gun that I can say managed to pull off what they were going for in this like really over the top movie set where like everything is just like so hectic and all over the place. And I think it takes a while to get there. It takes like an hour and a half, and then the last hour is for me like non-stop character moments that I really enjoyed. How was your experience?
You know what I think it is going to be for you? Because you were expecting one thing, and this film was not.
I had to settle into.
You had to settle into what you were getting yourself into, because this film definitely opens up with a sort of expectation that it's going to be a bit more. Yeah, I
thought it was more gonna like from how it goes. I thought it was gonna be more a character piece,
especially from this log line.
It feels like it's more about the director himself.
The location.
Yeah.
The time.
Yeah.
The who it's about. Mm-hmm. It definitely feels like...
And the title as well. Yeah. The title doesn't really come in until like...
No.
Something like very late into the movie.
So you kind of got to prep yourself for not so much an action or like a... Don't expect yourself to be kind of expecting the craziest thing in the world at first.
Don't expect yourself to expect anything. Don't expect, go accept, and have a good time. It's genre bending as well, like so much of South Korean cinema is, where it kind of eases in and out of different styles and foci, and I really enjoyed that because it kind of nailed
at the center of this film. You have a director making a film, so it cuts into the film he's making. Like it's completely different visually.
It's like black and white.
That's the big one. It's not in color like the rest of the film.
No.
So you clearly know when you're watching the movie he's making and the movie itself.
Sometimes it breaks that reality, though, which is a bit unfortunate. But just because I noticed, but it doesn't really matter.
On that Cannes 76 train of just fourth wall breaks.
Yeah.
Whether it be super subtle like this film does, or whether it be as hardcore as a Brighter Tomorrow, like there is some like seriously subtle fourth wall breaks, and then that's not what you're expecting, right? You don't expect that in one of these films. But again, this whole film kind of just evolves into this, and you think it's going to be a character study, especially because it starts off like that by focusing on the director
as he descends into madness, but it becomes way more about like film production as a whole and the censorship and how they kind of keep manipulating and playing each other as people. And that was so thrilling as you get introduced to these characters. There's so many of them, so it's hard to keep track who's doing what, who's got what motivation,
what and love triangles there are. Sort of that was a good joke.
There's like running bits in the background. I feel like this has been to me like the most consistent with making funny characters. There's been a lot of funny moments from characters, like in Wes Anderson's Asteroid City, and even some other films here the festival. But here, I just really like the repeated beats that even if the characters are a bit more one-noted, it's just like it plays into the comedy.
But it's not also just like comedy beats. There's a lot of setups that are paid off at the end, and it's probably one of the only films in the festival that set up a lot and fulfill on all of those things.
Yeah.
Because there's that particular part in sort of that climax of the film where they're doing that particular shot.
Yeah.
And there's that setup from ages ago
that
ties back, and you kind of go, oh, I forgot about that. Here it is again.
Because they also talk about like how they shoot in continuity and when they don't shoot out of continuity. And then it's so fun if you just like want to peek into what a film set looks like. It's obviously like really over the top and unrealistic in so many ways,
and set in like the 70s.
Yes,
so it's not like current day. Yeah, there's no rules. I mean, no, there are rules.
60s, 70s were crazy for filmmaking.
There's the South Korean like censorship board.
Yeah.
So there are rules to what you can, and it's the same with like American Hollywood. There was once censorship that was way more strict than what it is now, but
I mean, for South Korean cinema, not to get into this too much, but like in the 90s, it really opened up. So it's like the actual like kind of Korean new wave was so late, and you see a lot of filmmakers still come out of this.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting to see like something set in before that time, someone trying to make something that is like peaking outside of those limitations. And it's just a really enjoyable film about movies. Yeah, I had a good time with it.
It's the better one of the two films about making films.
Oh yeah, for sure. The Moretti wasn't
like
great.
a better Tomorrow is still fun.
It's okay.
It's still
it's
good.
Pretty good, yeah.
But it's not as
it indulges
insane?
so much more in its main character, and so much more it doesn't really know what. This is not a review for that movie, by the way. But it so much more wants to be like seen as, okay, this is a state of movies that I want to make a movie, so let's talk about making a movie, but I struggle to make a movie. Here they just do it.
But A Better Tomorrow is also more of a character study as well.
It definitely is, but like all of his movies are, so I'm like, I don't really give a shit about this guy, if I'm being honest. I really want to see Sang Kang-ho go crazy and smash a bunch of stuff as he, I don't know, wants to shoot this movie. And also I'm a huge fan of this filmmaker. I want to check more of his stuff out. I can really recommend you I Saw the Devil, and want to watch some more stuff of his. So while you wait until this movie releases, go give his other stuff a try, and you might be in for something really different this time around, because I think he hasn't made a movie yet about filmmaking. Yeah, I saw that. We don't
unsubscribe.
Hey, it's not for me. Where did you arrive at as a rating for in a film?
I gave it a clean 4 stars out of 5. It was.
You brought it down. I'm calling you out on that. Is that 4.5? And then he brought it down.
Was this when I exited the cinema?
Yeah.
I think I sat on it a little bit more, and I was just thinking about it. I was like, it's not as good as what I thought it was.
Right. He was like, I've seen plenty of Cobwebs in Australia.
And I will admit, there was the movie that I watched today, that I won't say what it was, that made me go, this
is great.
Yeah, this is great.
We'll get into
this
that.
I was like, this is 4.5 stars. Actually, Cobweb is not 4.5 stars.
Go check out that review right after. We'll talk about Perfect Days. We can spoil it here, right? In a bit, so that review maybe is already out by the time you're watching this. We got a couple more reviews from Gun, so go give them a watch as well, and subscribe to not miss our weekly podcast as well. So thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.